CFC Insider. So we've got Henry Mason here. He's out in New Brunswick. Coast. Henry, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Thanks for joining us on the intros with Kato today. Tell us a little bit about how you got started with your football career.
Pretty young. A lot of my friends have, a pretty athletic friend group, and we've all been involved in sports. And I've been playing hockey. I've been playing hockey since I was about 4 or 5. And one of them one day said, "Hey, I'm going to go try football. Do you want to come?" And I thought, well, why not? Yeah. I tried soccer, didn't love it, looking for a bit of contact. I was a bigger kid, looking for, a sport where I could really physically get involved. And football came along and I said, hey, that's it. And stuck with it ever since.
Well, what position did you start playing at?
I actually started as a quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically the game plan was, it was flags. So, I think we were 8 or something. And it was throw it downfield as far as you can and throw up a prayer and see if anybody catches it. And then I've played a lot of D-end when I was younger, just because I was bigger than the other kids. I could get off the block easier and I could make the tackle. But I've always been a running back. I've always, no matter what, played some type of running back, halfback,
What do you like most about that position?
I like running back because you're not limited. You're not very limited to what you can and you cannot do. Yeah, especially, Canadian style, sometimes we'll have 2 running backs in the backfield, which is nice because you work as a duo, Quarterback is very much all eyes on you, very, very much, a lot of pressure. And I don't mind the pressure, but as a running back, if you can work as a duo, if you can teamwork almost is nice. It's something that I really like about the position.
I mean, we've watched you in other tournaments and you're a pretty gritty runner. And recently we launched the CFC player profile platform. I'm not sure if you uploaded your information onto that, so you can put your highlights on there.
Yeah.
Any workout videos, combine videos that you have, you can upload all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's free to do. So for those of you who are listening, please do go on to CanadaFootballChat.com under the prospect search and submit your profile, because that goes out on our website. Check that out. That being said, what type of player would you say that you are?
I'm someone who will do just about anything that it takes to win. I don't care if I have to block for 60 minutes a game, if I have to run downhill between the tackles for 60 minutes a game, I'll do whatever it takes to win. If you need me, supporting the other running backs, that's what I'll do. I'm not someone who, has a big ego and who's going to get mad at coaches because he feels like he's not getting enough playing time. I'm someone that will keep level-headed. I'll lead by example. I'm quite a vocal guy, and I can keep people's heads up. And really, I can play that 60 minutes if you need me to, and I can play both ways, and I can play where and how you want me.
And what type of coaching would you say that you respond best to?
Probably someone who leads by example. A lot of my coaches, especially provincial level, they're quite level-headed, I find, for a lot of coaches compared to a lot of coaches. So that's something that I really, really like, is someone who's going to stay calm with me, someone who's going to talk me through it, but also someone who's willing to, scream, get a little, animated when it's needed, but someone who's going to support me and push me to the fullest extent of my football abilities.
So during the season, what would you say your favorite part is about the season?
My high school has a pretty new football program. Like our varsity football program started 3 years ago. We had a group of guys, we got together and we said, hey, this is something we want to do. We don't want to transfer, and we want to be able to wear school colors and the school name and play ball. We've had a lot of support throughout the community and throughout our school. And we are a small French school in a small town in New Brunswick. So on a Friday night, everybody comes out to the game. And so I'd probably say kickoff before the game, butterflies and a bunch of people on the sidelines screaming, going crazy. And it's the best part about playing football.
What would you say your goals are for this season?
So, being a smaller school, we have a couple of big schools around us. So we have about a population of 450 kids, I think. We're usually a AA school, and we don't football isn't really our thing yet. 3 years, new program, and we're going up against schools that have programs since the 60s, programs that have been around longer than I've been alive. We played two of the teams, so we played two of the local high schools, and we beat them. We were shocked. We were like, what just happened? Because a school of 460 French kids just stepped onto a field and beat 2,000, kids who have a established program. And so really just a goal for me would be to win it all, really. To win a city championship, because we're very limited with how our regulations are. We can only play 3 schools that are in our surrounding area. And so if we win, a city championship, win it all, that's probably going to be my goal for this year.
Well, we ranked you guys on the CFC 25 small school rankings last year. That was the first year that we did that. And then you got knocked off at the end.
Yeah. No comment. We have
But good for you guys for making it, right? In the inaugural year. Like, that's awesome.
We check that daily. We check that. I think you guys updated that on Wednesdays, and we, Wednesdays at fourth period at 1 p.m. everybody was looking at the CFC rankings, and we were all like, all right, where are we? So I think we clocked 13. I think we clocked 13 was our high. And we were thrilled. We were out, we were beyond that. We hit 13 for small school rankings. Basically what happened is that the team that knocked us off dropped down a division, and they were a AAA school, and they were a big school, and they dropped down. So, stuff happens. I can't control that. I can control my play. And yeah, came to the finals. They beat us in regular season, and we couldn't pull it off. So
how has your off season been? How has your training been? Have you developed any new kind of habits or ways to train?
So I used to not abide, but I used to train in a pretty regular gym. And I switched it up. So I went to France for 5 months in December for an exchange. And so I was over there, and, very different style of living, eating, a lifestyle that I wasn't used to. And so I lost a bit of weight. They wouldn't let kids under the age of 15 into the gym, under the age of 16 into the gym, and I was 15 at the time. So I was like, well, got to find a place to work out. So I did a lot of running, a lot of body weight workout. And then when I came back in the summer, I live on a farm, and we have a cottage on a farm. And so I was doing a lot of physical labor with that. And then I got involved with the local CrossFit gym. And so now I'm doing a lot of CrossFit workouts, and I'll work out. During the summer, I worked out probably 4 to 5 times a week with CrossFit, and then plus the manual labor. And I put on quite a bit of muscle just doing that. And so, I guess, I switched it up how I work out and my attitude towards working out.
So we ranked you on the CFC 200 class of 2021. How did that feel when you found out that you had made that ranking?
Strange. So strange. Seeing my name on, a national ranking, being someone who, that was my grade, I think that was my grade 9 I got ranked. I'm pretty sure. I forget. But I definitely was not expecting it. I was someone, I've won a couple of local awards. I've always been a pretty good player in my local area. My football, I thought I was, going to end up just kind of leaving football in high school. And then to, see my name on a national ranking for the class above just made me go holy smokes, what just happened? I was honestly kind of starstruck, and it's truly a motivator. It's truly something that makes you go hold up, people know my name. People who I don't know, who I've never ever met before, have seen my highlight tape, know my name, know who I played for, and it's I want this to keep on going. I wanna take this to the next level.
You participated in the CFC Combine in Halifax recently. How was that?
Any combine is amazing. Any exposure, any combine, any way to train at a higher level is amazing. Something that I've always kind of talked about is when you're thrown into a situation where you have to adapt to a higher level, when you're playing with people who are out of your league, you adapt to the higher level. and if you are forced to adapt, you will adapt. If you have to become a better runner, you will become a better runner if you want it. And, football is something that I am motivated by, and it's something that I like. And so when I'm thrown into those situations where it's like, all right, be the fastest person here. It's like, all right, now I have to find ways to be the fastest person here. And that's what CFC really exposed you to, is that talent that you've never seen. And you're like, whoa, I have to keep on training. I can't, take 5 months off and not do anything. I have to take care of my body. I have to treat my body. And so I think that was one of the big things, was really just a new way of looking at training. But it was also, it was exposure. And that's something that we don't get a lot of, is, a lot of exposure and kind of a pat on the back. It's kind of a little bit of I was there, talked to some coaches. So that was nice too.
Let's talk about that. You said you were talking to some coaches. How has the recruiting process been for you up to now?
I've filled out some recruitment forms. I've, nothing insane, nothing, no big talks, no calls, no, really not much, on my end. Something that, like a lot of, because I'm French, and because I go to a French school, something that we have a lot of would be cégep. So, a lot of cégep schools are a possibility. Mm-hmm. And so, I've looked there, I've looked at U Sports, but I haven't, I don't feel like I've had, any like real connection with the school. I went to Guelph to play provincially, I've been to Queens to play provincially. And, really also with schools, I want to find a program that I'm interested in. I don't want to spend 4 years playing football. I want to spend 4 years going to school while playing football.
So you said you haven't really found a school that necessarily matches what you're looking for yet. Is there a few schools that you think might be a good fit for you?
I loved Queens. Being up there, seeing the facilities, they look like they have a great atmosphere. And, I filled out a recruiting form with them. Obviously, I've heard amazing things about, Western Business School. Like, I want to go into economics, business, geopolitical stuff. And so really, I'm starting to look at schools, and I'm starting to kind of narrow down schools that have these programs that I'm interested in.
What would you like to take academically?
Backup plan would be business school. Like my go-to safe plan would just be a business school. But I'm trying to find that program that involves, like the trade, political science, and all these different things that I want to explore. And, like I've read books and I've watched YouTube videos about this stuff, but I haven't found, a program or a course that I'm like, oh, that's what I want to do. That covers everything. And that's going to set me up for that, the job that I want to get, the next level of myself.
For those of you who are also listening, the recruiting process can be a bit murky. So we do have on CFC the recruiting tips section, which is really great. There's a ton of tips on there that can help you narrow down schools, checklists, all that kind of stuff. So that's on CanadaFootballChat.com, and there it's the recruiting tips. So you might want to check those out as well. So that being said, recruiting can be extremely stressful for some people, and it can be a blast for others. How do you deal with the performance expectations of playing at a high level, and who supports you in that?
I don't have a lot of guys around me who I know who have gone through a big recruiting process, committed to a big schools. I know a lot of guys that committed to Mount A, Acadia, and local schools just from being in the Maritimes. Coaches will come to your games. But somebody who some guys who I know, the Tremblay, so Sam and Caleb Tremblay, I play on their team. And so, I'll talk to them about it, hey, what's happening with you guys. And really, I know that the pressure's there, but I don't find it affects me too much, because I'm so wrapped up in the moment. I'm so wrapped up, like, oh my gosh, we're on live TV. Like, what? We're about to play in front of a bunch of people. And, some guys, it does get to them. Some guys are like, oh, what if there's, people here that are watching me? I'm more so there to really soak in the experience. Mm-hmm. Maybe I should focus a little more on the recruiting part, but, I'm whenever I play big games, I never really think about, okay, are scouts here to watch me? If I play my best game, I know that I can get looks, and I know that I get people interested, but I have to play my best game. And I know that, but for me to play my best game is I don't focus on scouts and who's there, who's in the crowd.
Your parents must be pretty supportive. It sounds like you've been able to do a lot of really cool stuff, actually, going over and doing an exchange and, even just working on a farm. That's a lot of responsibility. How instrumental have your parents been in throughout your football career?
They would be like key. Like they would be the reason that it is still going. They have pushed me where I need to be pushed. They have understood where I need to be understood. They really, they're why I'm here. They're why I'm doing this interview. They're why I got ranked. That first year that I got ranked, I was like, I don't know if I want to do, I don't know if I want this commitment. I don't know, this is every weekend I'm playing against guys that are bigger than me, and they're like, no, you're doing it. Like, there's no question about it. And I'm like, fine, whatever. And I end up doing it, have a blast. It's amazing. And hey, something really amazing happened. I got ranked. So I would give all the credit to them. I honestly would. Without them, nothing would happen without them.
In terms of the people that you hang around at school or just your peers, have you had difficulty with peer pressure of being pulled to go party and do all that stuff? It kind of distracts you from what your goals are. How have you found that type of pressure, if you have at all?
I haven't really experienced that. Like, I surround myself with people, I surround myself with who I am. I surround myself with people that I value, but also hold me to be the best self, the best version of myself. And so if I had someone who starts, being like, oh, come on, why don't you party? Why don't you party? Why don't you come out? I just wouldn't hang out with them anymore, because that's not who I am. That's not what I want to be. And that's not the type of person I want to be. And so all my friends, like we're great friends, but we also, respect each other's boundaries. And I don't feel a lot of that peer pressure. I don't notice it at all.
So lastly, we're going to play a game called Rapid Fire. What that is I'm just going to say, either two things and you're going to pick one or the other, or you're going to say the first thing that comes to your mind, okay? So what are you watching on Netflix?
The Office.
What would you wear, a helmet, visor, and a backplate, or gold-colored cleats?
Helmet, visor, backplate.
What's on your playlist for music?
British rap.
You're the general manager of a professional football team. You have the first pick of the draft. Who are you taking? Either now or a past player?
Trevor Lawrence, no question.
That's awesome. Clemson is my absolute favorite team. I love Dabo. I love Trevor. I love all of them. So you just made my whole day with that answer. Sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Do you prefer dogs or cats?
Dogs.
What's your favorite Blockbuster?
Some of the old superhero movies. I don't know. Couldn't specify.
Think vacation. Adventure race or sit on a beach?
Mexico.
Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook?
Instagram.
If you could only have one video game, what would it be?
Don't play video games.
Okay, so if you could only read one book, what would it be?
Harry Potter.
If you could meet one person, a non-athlete in the world, either past or present, who is it?
Obama.
So thanks for talking with us today, Henry. We hope that you have a really good, well, I would normally say high school season, but I guess it sounds like you're playing flag out in the Maritimes. So, I mean, that's better than nothing, right?
Yeah, better than sitting at home.
Exactly. So good luck to you. Thanks for coming on here.
No problem. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for everything you guys do, all the tips, all the help. It's really amazing. It truly is. And it really, and like the recruiting tips and everything, and I can't express just how much it helps.
All right. We'll talk to you later. Take care.
All right. See you later.
Looking for more exclusive Canadian recruiting content? Become a CFC Insider Gold or Silver member today for access to rankings, analysis, and the latest recruiting news from across the country.